Carol, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I'm so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about asking hard questions. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay, so why should we ask hard questions in relationships? I know for some of you that are watching this, you're thinking, okay, why are we talking about romantic relationships? We're talking about relationships in general, romantic, platonic, whatever you want to call it. And it's important to ask those hard questions because sometimes when you get into a friendship, when you get into a romantic relationship, you lose yourself and you start to feel like, okay, I need to be here. You don't have to be anywhere that you don't want to be or that's not serving you or that's not adding fruit to your life. Always remember that. Never feel like you have to deal with something. And I also have to do a disclaimer. This is not to say that just because your cutoff game is strong, you need to get rid of every person. I used to be a runner. I'm saying used to in places where I'm toxic. I was toxic in the past, or places where I wasn't healed or I have struggled in the past because I want to make sure that I get rid of all of those negative traits. I don't want that to serve in a future relationship. I want to make sure that I heal, that I do better going forward. And so whenever you hear me like go back over something, it's usually because I just want to correct it because the power of the tongue is so powerful. I want to make sure that I'm speaking life over every relationship, that I enter. I want to make sure that I am at my best, and it might not look perfect, but it's going to be me trying. And that's the best that I can do. And so I just want to make sure that I definitely point out that just because I'm saying that that's not a reason to stay doesn't mean that I'm saying that's a reason to run. If you're a runner, if you are a person who has a strong cutoff game, that is not healthy at all either. Because that means that when things get rough, that means that when things don't go perfectly the way that you want them to go in your mind, you're going to be out of there. And I know it's a defense mechanism because you feel like you're pushing away the people who are not going to be there anyways, or because you had somebody leave in the past, or it could be childhood, it could be anything, but it's not healthy. We have to get to a place where it's neither or. It's not either or. It's not you are just staying to just put up with a whole bunch of crap that you shouldn't be putting up with, and you shouldn't just be running at the first sign of something not going your way. It's a happy, healthy medium, but you get there by working on yourself, going to counseling, reading the Bible, because the Bible will allow you to put up healthy standards and boundaries so that you know that when you are living this Christian life, you're doing it with the same respect and honor for yourself and for God, that you know that being Christian doesn't mean letting people walk all over top of you. And then also through therapy, you learn that you can't allow your childhood, the things that you went through in the past, to determine how you are going to be in your future relationship, or to take over how you treat people in the future. Just because something happened in the past, just because you went through something, I'm not saying that you should just ignore what you went through. Always remember it so that you know how to move in the future. Always work through it so then that way you can be better for the future. And you do that by really you got to really face it. You got to do the hard work, and it's not easy because for me, when I focus on work stuff, it's easy. I could just be like, okay, I got to get this, and this done. When I focus on emotional stuff, it's like, whoa, Lord, oh my goodness, this is not easy. And so you got to really be real with yourself and be willing to say, I'm struggling in this area. Ask God for help. You got to ask the right people for help. I truly believe in therapy and the Bible. I believe that God created therapists and counselors so that they can help you in areas that are childhood trauma areas, that are areas that you need to grow from so that you can have someone that's unbiased to talk to. And I believe religion works because it allows you to be healed in areas that therapy won't be able to heal. It's generational curses. It's things that you go through internally, through your soul, through your spirit, through your mind, body, and soul all together, being healed through the word of God, but also mentally through a therapist, talking through things through socialization. Socialization is one of the largest forms of counseling that you can endure in your life, that you can work through in your life. And for those of you that don't know, I like to do a little quick spiel about sociology, because when I first started going to college a long time ago, I was going to be a therapist or a psychologist. And I would study Sigmund Freud a lot. And Freud is the one who came up with the theory of sociology. And since then, that's why when you go to a counseling session, you sit down and you talk about your feelings, because it allows you to be able to verbalize your internal thoughts. And when you're talking about it, it relieves a lot of the tension and stress off of you. And so instead of you internalizing and holding on to that negative energy, you can release it. So I really feel like when you are talking to a therapist, it allows you to be able to get things off your chest that you might not be able to talk to with other people. And it'll give you an outlet so you're not holding on to anger, resentment, sadness, whatever it is that is holding you back in your life. And so I think it's really important for us to be real with ourselves and be like, okay, this is bothering me. This is something that I struggle with. And not just to be so blunt with or so abrupt to making decisions that are going to change the trajectory of your entire life or the course of your entire life, or rather. And so here's 3 things that I believe are important when it comes to asking hard questions in a relationship and the reasons why you should. The first is, if you don't ask hard questions, the relationship that you're in could steal your joy. I know you're probably thinking, how is a relationship going to steal my joy? Sometimes when you get in a relationship, you look for another person to make you happy. You look for that person to do things that you normally would do to make you feel better with that person. And just because they're there doesn't mean they're going to want to do any of the things that make you happy with you. And I, in my head, before I thought about dating and all the other things that I'm doing in my life, I really thought, okay, I knew that when you get with people, they probably not going to want to do what you want to do anyways. But it's so true. Just because you like shopping doesn't mean the person you're with is going to like going to the mall. Just because you like going to the opera doesn't mean the person you're with is going to like opera. Just because you like being fancy dancy doesn't mean the other person that you're with is going to like any of the things that you like. But I'm saying it because for a lot of the time, you might rules of a person who comes into your life that actually is interested in all the things that you're interested in. But for the most part, that doesn't happen. And so what do you do in a situation like that? Sometimes for us as women, it can make us feel like a little sad, because it's like, oh, I got this person and now I can't do any of the things. You can do the things. That's what I want you to realize. You can still do those things. You just got to do them alone like you did when you were single. And it's fine. Don't be down and out and feeling like, oh, this sucks. No, it's life. You're 2 totally different people. You're not going to like the same things. That's normal. So you just have to learn to say, I'm still going to have joy in my life. I'm still going to do the things that make me happy. I'm still going to do the things that I love to do, even if I'm doing them by myself. And you can't be mad at the person because they're not interested in the stuff that you like. You just have to know that this is something that I'm going to do by myself or with my friends. And I believe that God strategically places people in your life to be able to fit into those areas, so that you don't put everything on one person, because God is the only thing that's everything to you. So when you realize, okay, this is what I would need to do in my life, it makes it a lot better and it takes a lot of the pressure off the other person. So I want to throw that disclaimer out there, because you want to make sure that when you are in this relationship, it's not stealing your joy, because you're putting all your hope and faith in a person when your hope and faith should be in God. The second thing is the relationship, if you don't ask the hard questions, could destroy your hope. You could be with someone who's a complete downer, who's always saying something negative, who always wants to shut down every idea, everything that brings you joy. They want to act like it's the worst thing in the world. You like dancing. Why you gotta dance everywhere? You dancing all in the house. You gotta dance in the car, in the store, in the house, outside. You don't have to dance everywhere. I'm tired of seeing you dancing, busting moves in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff in my head. But it'll be something like that. Or maybe you like painting and they're like, paint all over your nails and you can't even go nowhere because you got paint stains on your pants. I don't know. Be profitable. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about this is your dream. This is your purpose. This is something you really, really believe in. And that person just, every time you get an idea, every time you have a little glimpse of hope, they take that hope away from you. Like, they just like, nah. that type of relationship can destroy your hope. So it's important for you to ask hard questions to know, okay, hey, this is my dream up front. This is what you're believing for. And I'm not saying you're 60 years old and say all of a sudden you had a rap career that you wanted a long time ago. And I know there's exceptions to the rules. There might be this old rapper that comes out that all of a sudden, and 60 is not old. I'm just saying for you to start a rap career. And that might be their dream, but they might not be good at it, or it might be too late for them to do that. They might just have to help young people go for their dreams, and that could be the way that they're still in their purpose, something like that. But in general, if you have a purpose, if there's something that God placed on your heart, if there's something that you're supposed to be doing in life, don't allow another person to try to tell you who you can and cannot be. Remember who and whose you are. Know that you got this, that God got you, and everything's going to be fine. Do not lose hope because of a relationship, romantic or a friendship. Because you had them friends that just be like, girl, what you talk about? You going to do what? You going to open a salon? You don't even know. You won't even have that many clients. You won't have that many clients yet, but you will. You starting a baking business or something and you're like, oh, I just can't get this recipe right. Pray on it. Read the Bible, figure out different recipes, different things that you think will be successful. Try it out at your church. Like TG says, try it out different places and see if people take well to it. And the next thing you know, you got an online business selling your baked goods and you're shipping them different places because you got this. God got you, especially if God put it on your heart for you to do it. Do not lose hope in what it is that God is trying to get you to do in your life, or faith and what God is trying to get you to do in your life, because if he placed it on your heart, if he put it in your mind, then you're supposed to do it. Don't allow any person, friend, romantic, whoever else, shoot down your dreams, because you will succeed. The third thing that not asking a hard question in relationships can do is it can kill your confidence. When you are with the wrong person, when you cannot, and I don't mean this person got to blow your head up and just give you compliments every day, although I do love compliments a lot. Words of affirmations. I'm a stop. Okay. But the person who's your friend, who's romantic, could kill your confidence by telling you who they think that you're not all the time. They could say, oh, you gonna wear that outfit, that shirt with them pants? Ugh. They could say, oh, you got your hair like that again. And your hair that's your best hairstyle that you got. Why are you letting them talk to you like that? You look good. Stop playing. And so then the next thing, like, it could be your car, it could be your house, it could be whatever. And it just seemed like every chance they get, they're trying to make you feel like crap. Well, you just asked too many questions. Maybe the purpose that God placed on your heart is calling for you to ask a ton of questions, because you need to ask them questions so you can get the results that you need. Maybe they're saying, well, you're always worried. Maybe don't worry a lot. That's a bad example. But it could be those little quirks or things about you that is part of your purpose. And the adversary wants nothing more than to steal your joy, destroy your hope, and kill your confidence. And sometimes he could do that through a relationship, through a romantic or platonic relationship. And this could be family members, friends, or a potential partner. And sometimes we don't even realize it's happening. Sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we're so desperate. And I know Like people hear that word and they cringe and they're like, I'm not desperate. I'm good. I could do bad all by myself. We get like, so like we start talking with our hands. We really start hyping it up. Like we really got to be about that life. But hold on, calm down for a second, right? Listen to what I'm saying. Because when I say desperate, I mean a great need or desire for something. That's it. I'm not saying like you all thirsty and doing the most and everything else. And sometimes we do the most. I'm just saying that you don't have to be in desperate need for anything, because the God that I serve is a God of abundance, not a God of lack. And nothing, the adversary wants nothing more than to make you feel lackful or of scarcity, as if you don't have the things that you need, as if you desperately need a friend. No, you got a friend in Jesus. And yes, you do need people in your life, but you don't need nobody that bad. When it comes to family, I know you're saying, well, family's family. Yes, family is family. That does not mean that you put yourself in a situation to be put down. That does not mean that you allow people to talk to you any kind of way. That does not mean that you allow people to just treat you like trash. You're a human being with emotions. You emote, you have feelings, because God placed those feelings inside of you. You have to have healthy standards and boundaries. You have to know, okay, this is that person. Accept them for who they are, but also protect yourself. That doesn't mean you're disrespectful. That does not mean that you're rude. That doesn't mean that you say, today is the day. I got time today. You don't have to do all of that. You just got to be like, just keep that energy in. Just be cool, calm, collected. Like TG says, just really just be content in where you are. Stand flat footed in faith and really just speak the words that speak with that unction. Like, I'm not okay with this. Remove yourself from the situation. Talk about the things that it is that you want or that you need or what you are and are not going to tolerate. And you don't have to do it with the pop of the neck or moving of the hands. You can literally just be like, I'm not okay with that. And then you they no longer have access to you. And I'm not saying you're being disrespectful. You have to protect yourself because your mental health is the most important thing. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you just all of a sudden cut everybody off. Nobody deserves a chance now. You don't have to do all of that. You just got to make sure that you remove yourself from the situation, that you speak up for what it is that you believe in a respectful way. And you keep those healthy standards and boundaries so that you can keep that energy and put it into your purpose instead of other people that don't deserve it. So those are the things. All of the things. And I don't know if I'm losing my voice. Oh my gosh. That hasn't happened in a long time. Sorry. It's just so important for us to remember that 2 Corinthians 12:9 says that my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Always remember that. And the times in your life when you're struggling, when you're going through hard times, when you're feeling like something is stealing your joy, when you're feeling like something is destroying your hope, when you're feeling like something is killing my confidence, know that you could take it to God and He can help heal you in those areas. He can help build your joy. He can give you back your joy. He can allow you to have hope and faith for the things that are unseen. He can allow you to build your confidence in knowing who and whose you are. You don't have to get approval from someone else. You don't have to try to seek something from someone else. If something isn't bearing fruit, it's not supposed to be a part of your life. You have to know that everything that's meant to be in your life will bear fruit. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Ain't nothing perfect but God. It's also important for you to understand that to let go and let God do what it is that He needs to do in your life. Sometimes when we try to be in control and we try to choose friends, romantic partners, instead of letting God help us discern who needs to be a part of our life, we let the wrong people in, and it gives the adversary a foothold to be able to destroy us, making us do the things that we said that we were never going to do, just causing us to be so far off course. And it's important for you to just stay focused. Whatever mistakes you made, it doesn't matter. That was yesterday. That was a moment ago. This moment is a whole nother moment. You can start right now and just change your whole life. You don't have to be perfect. You're going to slip up. You're going to make mistakes. It's fine. God didn't intend for you to be perfect. He just intended for you to be better. So just be better than you were a moment ago, a minute ago, a year ago, a week ago, whatever it is. You can come exactly as you are, and God will accept you. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay hopeful. Good night.